What is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs? I'm going to welcome you to another episode of the Hardcore Geek Podcast. And as always, I'm your host, Ryan, and on the super top secret backbone, calling in from Asgard, he has been on a journey through the many galaxies. My good friend and my co-host, The Hammer. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Showtime?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good, man. I had impromptu day off, had some stuff we had to take care of today, but things are good, man.
I'm in the Asgardian bath salts.
With is this the
pool of knowledge? What was that thing called?
The thing that Thor got dipped in and nobody understood what it was.
Right.
Where he saw Ragnarok. Yeah, man. Right. You don't sound all that good, but
I'm hanging. I'm fighting it. That's all. So
that's right.
Trying to.
You need to get those Infinity Stones, man. It'll make you feel a little bit better.
Probably right.
So, guys, before we get into the show, I do want to thank everybody for your listens, your downloads, your subscriptions. Really appreciate everybody's patience. There's been some gaps in the show. That just comes strictly because life. We gotta do our big boy.
Like shit.
What's that?
We work like shit. That's what it is.
Yeah, they're working us like crazy. Our big boy and our big girl jobs, but things are pretty much back to normal. I love this time of year, man. I don't know why. And this is just doesn't have anything to do with comic books or movies or anything like that. But this is literally my favorite time of year. So I kind of I feel like a little bit more relaxed. Not counting our conversation yesterday, but that's completely off the air there.
Right.
But yeah, I think because we're kind of, it's fall, we're kind of getting into the Halloween season, so all right, we're gonna see a lot of cool cosplay coming up, and then we got Thor coming up, we got Star Wars, and then the whole next year we got like so many awesome movies coming out. So and of course Justice League too.
Yeah. Back to back. That's gonna be a hell of a weekend.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I haven't been to a movie since Spider-Man. I have to go see it, but yeah, I wanted to try to go today, but it was not going to happen, unfortunately. But that is okay. But again, guys, thanks for your listens, your downloads, and just sticking with us. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at Geek Podcasts. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Hardcore Geek Podcast, or Hardcore Geekcast, excuse me. We're on Instagram too. If you want to check out some random videos, Hardcore Geek Video, that's going to be right on YouTube. We got some live video gameplays and some unboxings and all that good stuff. I have a big ass Marvel haul that I'm going to be doing an unboxing of next week, so I'm very excited about that. And I'm missing something. I can't remember. Oh, right now you're listening live on Spreaker.com. We're on iTunes for the past episodes and downloadable episodes, and then we're also on Podbean as well. So as soon as this episode's over here, you can download here if you're a Spreaker user, if you're an iTunes user, or if you're a Podbean user. Pretty much anywhere you can find your favorite podcast. Just type in Hardcore Geek, you'll find us there. So that's all I have for plugs. But so we were kind of talking, like we like to. We're nerds. We're geeks, Whenever there's a new trailer that comes out, we got to watch it 500 million times and we dissect it,
Right.
We go see every Marvel movie, DC movie, pretty much on the day it opens. Try to follow along with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow and Flash and all that. So we're immersed with all the heroes, okay? The one thing we never really focus on, and to my knowledge, I don't think we've ever done an episode where we talked about the actual villains of these films and on these television shows and the books that we read, and it's just odd because like there's a lot of them that are really revered by a lot of fans. Like, I mean, I'm sitting in my office right now and I got a painting of the Joker.
Right.
Now
that's one thing I have to say. I have to confess about. I kind of fell off on some of the TV shows. Like, I think the last one I was fully caught up on was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Arrow, I just fell behind. And Flash, and I think it's because they run them concurrently.
Yeah.
So I hate that they run them at the same time. Like, if they were smart, they could corner the market and run it through CW season after season after season, because now they have that Legends of Tomorrow too.
Oh yeah, it's a great
they
show.
They can do the season of Flash.
They got Supergirl too.
Take 2 weeks off, come back with a season of Arrow. Take 2 weeks off, come back with a season of Legend. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus running them concurrently, because then I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So,
that's very true. It's tough. Think about it. Like, with everything that we have to consume, like, you have, and this is not even counting the movies, you have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
right.
you have Flash, Arrow, Legends, you have Supergirl, then you have the Netflix series, which each episode's like an hour long, so it's like watching, I think, 4 or 5 movies when you watch a whole season.
Right.
So that's definitely a chore. And in fact, people are probably going to want to string me up when I say this, but I literally started watching Defenders today.
Oh, wow. You're that far behind?
I'm that far behind. Like, I haven't had time to really sit down, and, like, Stranger Things is, like, right around the corner, so I gotta finish Defenders. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm, like, an episode and a half in. Obviously, the first one is really just kind of showing the aftermath of each series that we have already watched.
Right.
Daredevil Season 2, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, of course. I judging by the first episode, a lot of it really seems to be centered around Luke Cage. I don't want nobody to spoil it for me, so don't chime in and tell me shit, on Twitter or anything like that, people.
Right.
But, yeah, man, it's kind of rough, kind of keeping up with stuff, but yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I'm really disappointed in myself that I fell behind on Gotham so far.
That's another one, man.
I was really into it. Gotham is a really good freaking show.
It is.
I just fell behind, and now I'm seeing commercials talking about he's going to turn into a Teen Dark Knight. It's like, what the hell is going on? So I got to get caught up on that before tomorrow or something, or when does it come on? So
they got it all up on Netflix, so it's just going to be like, I think if you take a couple weekends where you don't have anything going on, you can probably get a lot of it knocked out. Just have to, make sure you stock up on the snacks and the drinks and all that, and I think you'd be all right. But yeah, man, Gotham's another one. I completely forgot about that. Now they got Gifted that's starting Monday.
I'm interested in that one.
Yeah,
I am.
And you know what?
See where they go with it.
And, like, me personally, and this is not, I don't want to blame my wife, but, like, we were in the Arrow, we were in the Flash, we were in the Gotham. That's just, like, name's the name, right? And, we were on different schedules, so, like, it was kind of like one of those, don't watch it without me. And then we kind of fell behind, and it's like, you feel guilty if you start watching it. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, fine, I'm like, if you're not going to do it, then I'm going to watch it. I think she, like, watched all of Flash. Like, she just said the same thing to me. Like, well, if you're not able to come home and watch it, then I'm just going to watch it. So, she's further along with Flash. I'm further along with Gotham. So, it is what it is.
Right.
But, speaking of that, I mean, Gotham, I really love their interpretation of Jerome, which is obviously the Joker. It has to be.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was kind of confused on, because I'm like, that's why I'm like, I got to get caught up, because at least in my mind, watching the show, he's dead. So
yeah, you gotta watch it. Yeah, I don't want to spoil nothing. I don't want to spoil nothing.
Okay. So I gotta get caught up.
You do, yeah. I'm not gonna say anything. So let me ask you this, and I don't even think I've ever asked you this. What's your earliest memory of either a comic book or superhero movie or television show that you watched?
Oh, it would be the classic, the original X-Men.
Like the cartoon?
Yeah, the cartoon, the original X-Men cartoon, the one that was so splotchy with the storytelling, and it just, but it was it was one of those shows where they played 2 episodes, and then they played another 2 episodes that was completely out of order. So you're like, what the hell happened? So. But yeah, that would be mine. The original X-Men.
Yeah. Oh god, I remember watching it every morning, and they had that. And they had
Saturday morning.
The Spider-Man cartoon also, I remember that one. What'd you think of the villains, though? Like, what, as far as, like, from the time that you started watching to everything that you're invested in today as an adult, do you have, like, a favorite villain or a favorite storyline involving a villain, or one that maybe stands out, maybe not some of the obvious ones?
Well, I would say two, and I'll start with the second one first. The second one was always Juggernaut.
Okay.
And it was Juggernaut because I liked the storyline that they were going with, but they never finished it. And then now they're not even acknowledging it. Granted, the one movie that Juggernaut was in was completely BS. So they didn't even have a chance to actually, story arc it. But hopefully with this, whichever one's next, whichever, new class is next, they'll start to play with it. Yeah. But the storyline of him actually being Xavier's brother.
Yes, and that's the part that really bugged me in X-Men. Well, X-Men 3 bugged me for a lot of reasons, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, sir. I don't hate it probably as much as everybody else does.
I do, yeah.
Like, I dislike X-Men Origins a lot more than
the Wolverine one.
Yeah, oh my god, it was terrible. Yeah. But, like,
well, I mean,
his costume was stupid in that movie.
Yeah, it really was. And they didn't even play on the actual fact of how he got his actual powers. They just tried to play it off, if he starts running, he can't stop. It's like, no, that's never how that was. It was, it was actually a medallion that he found that gave him his strength. So, he's not really a mutant.
Yeah.
So, but, they can only cover so much in these movies, but hopefully they'll start to unpackage that maybe, and, even if they maybe try and tie in this gifted thing to it, because from what I can tell, this gifted thing is a bunch of kids.
Yes.
So, I can't really tell. It looks like it's 2017, 2016, which means that, Xavier should be old and they should, they should be like trying to recruit them. But that's yet to be seen when it comes to that show.
Yeah.
But I hope they, when they do the first class or the X-Men, after Apocalypse, I forget what they're calling the next one.
They're calling it Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix? Okay, yeah. So then we probably won't get Juggernaut in that one either. But that was my second one, because I always found the storyline intriguing, and they just never brought it to fruition. And then, of course, my second one, my first one has always been Magneto.
Okay.
Always. I mean, everybody likes Apocalypse or likes the giant villains. Give me a scorned man who can control metal. He should not be losing a fight to anyone.
Exactly.
And I don't care what kind of power you have. You could be, even with Apocalypse, there's no way, he should be losing to Apocalypse, just for that simple fact that you control freaking metal.
Okay.
So, but that's just mine. So.
No, yeah, I totally get it. And then my favorite interpretation, nothing against Ian McKellen. I love Ian McKellen, but Michael Fassbender, I think,
oh yeah,
it really, he got me invested in the character.
Well, it's because they're playing off of the hurt.
Yes.
With Ian McKellen, they're playing off of what's the word I'm looking for? Off of the experience, like he's already been through all of this, and he's dealt with the hurt, and this is how he's dealing with it, is just by trying to bring mutants together.
Yeah.
No, this early Magneto is, they killed his mother, killed his father, then killed his wife and kid. Everything is fresh with him, and
that scene where he was pulling all the metal fragments out of the ground and all that in Apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
And he just fucked everything up. I'm that was the part where I'm I don't know, maybe I'm just sounding like a geek, but I really felt that. I'm that's how I would feel if something happened to my family, and I would if I had that, I would ruin everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think that's why I love the interpretation. I think like for mine and like the MCU, it's really for like the movie villains. I think have been the weakest point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, and that would include a majority of even the Sony films and the Fox films. Like if you look at like even like Avengers, right? You had Loki, and like at the time, you know, he had all the Chitauri with him and all that, but I think Ultron was kind of like a throwaway villain, especially the story that they had around him, you know, even though it was a great movie, you know. If I can say one of my favorite villains in the MCU, I have to say, and I'm gonna count this as MCU, is Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, but the version that was in the Daredevil television show, like the Netflix version.
Oh yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes, because like he like really, it's like you can just see the evil behind him, and just like the idea of like a evil businessman that like has a chokehold on even like the police and all that. It seems like it's something that you can't overcome, you know, and that's something that like, you know, I think us as like normal citizens and all that, you know, you look at a big business guy and you know, maybe you don't like that person, maybe, you know, especially an arrogant one, and then when they make that person the actual villain, and if he's killing people and all that, and he's got control over the cops, like that part was like, you know,
killing them with their bare hands.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and that's another thing. I liked his version over Michael Clark Duncan. I mean, the Daredevil movie was kind of poop. You know, nothing against the actors or anything, but the Netflix version of Kingpin was just he was believable. You know.
Oh yeah.
Like, he jumped out of the screen. You know, made you invested there. Any other villains in the MCU? I'm trying to think.
Well, I was going to say, too, while we're talking about Vincent, and I can never...
D'Onofrio? Is that...
D'Onofrio, I think that's what it is. I have to go research, because if he has not won a daytime Emmy or Emmy of some sort for freaking Law and Order...
Oh, yeah.
You know? He is the most underrated and underappreciated actor. Yeah. And in at least the last 20 years. I can't think of a different actor that nails every frickin' part that he's in, you know, and then just doesn't get any appreciation for it. Now, granted, you know, I take that back. There's one other, and that's Charlie Hunnam, and that's just my personal opinion.
Oh, yeah.
From
Sons of Anarchy.
He wouldn't have got anything from not even Sons, but the movie, what was that? That terrible Pacific Rim. He wouldn't have got anything for that.
Oh,
he should be getting something for this doggone Last King movie he just did.
Mm-hmm.
But exactly like you said, the Sons of Anarchy series got the individuals got no recognition because the show was just so gory. You know, it was just too real.
It was it was tough to kind of get in there.
I mean, they got some off the air Emmys, you know, best writing, and you know, Kurt Sutter got that sort of stuff. But you know, back to, you know, like I said, Vincent D'Onofrio, there was nobody better to put in that part as Kingpin. I think Michael Clark Duncan was used just because he was a big guy.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't know what they were doing in that movie, fortunately.
Yeah, and God rest his soul, he was never that great of an actor to me. Yeah. You know, he did good in Green Mile, you know, for what it was, but he was never that good of an actor. I mean, he's funny as hell.
I just liked him too much, and I didn't want to like be like, oh, that's the bad guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even in Daredevil, like his dialogue, he was like funny and charming. You know,
right?
Vincent D'Onofrio was like just very chilling, and that's. You know, with Netflix, you can kind of get away with that a little bit more. You know, it's pretty much TVMA on there, you know?
Right.
I think the only other Marvel villain, and this is, I mean, honestly, I think that if you look at each villain out of all the MCU, out of all of the the Fox series, you know, the villains kind of fall flat for one reason or another. But the other one I really liked, and what I mean liked, it was one where I'm like, this guy's a real piece of shit, was Ego in Guardians 2. Because that part where, oh my god, with like the part where he was explaining to Star-Lord, Peter Quill, about him and his, you know, meeting his mom, and then when he finally drops the bomb, he's like, that's why I had to put that tumor in her. And like, that was everybody in the theater just gasped, you know? And like, and then my wife just yells out, "You motherfucker!" And I'm like, in the middle of the movie theater, like, and then at that moment, you're like, I want to see this dude get his ass kicked right now, you know? Like, that was one I think they nailed pretty good. Now, Thanos, from what I've seen in the leaked trailers, and
this is about to change with that.
Yeah,
they about to change the entire game with this setup. Just because, and I was going to say it earlier, but then I didn't because you were going where you were going.
Mm-hmm.
But the Dark Order is about to F some stuff up.
Okay.
And then Thanos behind them. They're about to take villainy to a new level, I think.
Mm-hmm. And then Hela's like the first female female lead villain we've gotten, which is really cool. I think Kate Blanchett, she looks awesome in the movie.
But here's the hook. Here's the hook as well. And this is kind of why when we talked about it, I was like, that's why we're not going to get that trailer. We're supposed to get that trailer this weekend, weren't we? Didn't I hear somewhere that it was like September 29th we're supposed to get the trailer?
I think someone put out... Did someone... I saw like a...
Like they tweeted it or something.
Yeah, it was like a backstage shot of like Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., and a few other people, and it just says September 29th. So it's like, well, what the fuck does that mean? You know?
Right.
Like,
exactly. That's this Friday. But like we talked about it, they can't really drop that doggone trailer until after Thor.
Yeah.
Because they're going to ruin Thor. Because a lot of people, unless you're just learned like we are when it comes to the Marvel Universe, know that freaking Thanos is in love with Hela. Yeah. So, in my mind, he's either not going to beat Hela, or he's going to show up at the end of Thor, and that's what's going to, you know what I'm saying? That's what's going to tie those two together.
Yeah, and like, that's the thing. It's like, I can see them doing this kind of how they did with Cap, where this will actually be one of the post-credit scenes. It will actually be the official Infinity War trailer, because, I mean, we've seen, like, the leaked images and the leaked, you know, trailer itself, and obviously some big stuff goes down, you know?
Right.
And we don't know, you know, I'm not going to, like, spoil it, because, you know, some people, you know, purposely don't watch that, so I'm not going to say anything from what I know of the trailer, but you could tell from the very opening scene of the trailer that it's got to be picking up right after Thor ends, you know? And my question is, did they confirm the Hulk for Infinity War? Like,
I don't know. That's a very good question. I really don't know.
I think like everybody's...
I thought he was, but I think he might be confirmed in a Mark Ruffalo side, but I don't know.
I mean, because we've heard, I think because everybody's focused on, you know, you got Spidey in there, and you got the Guardians and Doctor Strange, and everybody's coming together, but nobody's really said anything about the actual Hulk being in here. And then I think
he's in the I think he's in the character listing.
Is it?
I
gotta look it up on IMDb.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too.
Yeah, man, I think that Thanos will. He's gonna be the one that really, you know, just brings it to the MCU. You know, just because everything's leading up to him. Everything from 2008 is leading up to Thanos, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's on it.
Oh, he is? Okay.
He's in the cast. Yeah, he's in the cast.
I figure they got everybody in there.
Yeah, I'm the only one I'm not showing. is
It's Quicksilver.
I'm not showing Rocket.
Oh no, Rocket's in it.
I know, but I'm just saying on the list here, he's not on this list for some ignorant reason.
Oh, that's weird.
But dude, in a weird way, isn't freaking Mantis hot? I just want to say that. Just put that out there.
Mantis?
You know? Mantis is hot.
I mean, the girl who plays her is like really hot. I don't know if you've ever seen what she looks like, but
oh yeah. I just saw her. That's why I kind of threw it out there like that. But Kobe Smolder is in it. Loki is in it.
Oh, they got like everybody up in here.
Okay, there's Bradley Cooper. Yeah, he's there.
Oh, okay.
Terry Notary. Did he play Young Groot or something?
I don't know.
Because he's listed as Groot, but so is Vin
Oh,
Diesel.
you know what? They probably have teenage Groot in this one.
Oh, okay.
You know? Remember the end of Guardians?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's probably it.
Bluebird. Who the hell is Bluebird?
I don't know. I gotta look them up. I got the Marvel Encyclopedia for my birthday, so now I can utilize it.
Yeah, look that up. Probably an expendable death that's going to happen.
I know, right? Did they say if Captain Marvel, if she's going to be in this one, or if she's going to be in the second one?
Nebula's in it. Let's see.
I'm calling this scene right now that Nebula is going to be the first one to die, and it's going to be Thanos. I keep calling him Thanos. Thanos trying to prove a point, but like I'll kill my own daughter in front of all of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
That's going to be the scene, like the first major death.
I can see that going through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody else on here that I could see. Like I said, just dying. You know.
Well, I gotta figure out who's. I hate when they make these announcements now, like, oh, this one's confirmed for Infinity War 2 or whatever the next one they're calling it. And I'm like, I don't want to know because if I know, then it's going to be spoiled. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, we'll see there. But switching gears, go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry. Just before we switch gears on this, did you read that Jeremy Renner is supposed to go bad?
Yeah, he's gonna be shit. What was his other name?
Ronan.
Ronan. Yeah.
Ronan. And when I saw it, I'm like, how the fuck is he gonna be Ronan? Ronan just got killed. And then when
I
I read it, I was like, oh, it's
not Ronan the Accuser.
R.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's little R Ronan. So
yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be really interesting. Yeah. So yeah, switching gears to DC villains. I think that for the most part, DC, that's one thing they can kind of get right. Maybe not recently, but in some like you look at like the Dark Knight films, you know, and you can't not mention Heath Ledger, you know.
Right.
I think, in my opinion, that's to this day, and you know, it's been 10 years almost since that movie's come out, as I could still watch that movie and his version of the Joker gives me chills, you know. Nothing against Jack, because I think Jack does a great job, you know. And then shout out to Cesar Romero as well. I think he did a great job. But Heath Ledger was the one.
He didn't get enough time. That was his problem. He didn't get enough screen time to actually develop. He put a whole lot of work into that character for them to not really use him.
Are you talking about Heath?
No, Cesar.
Cesar Romero from the original series?
Oh, no.
You're thinking of Jared Leto. Jared Leto.
Yes.
I liked his version too for what it was, and I have the extended version of Suicide Squad, and I gotta watch it still. I haven't. I got it for Christmas, and I haven't watched it yet. But did you hear that they're recasting the Joker now?
No, I didn't.
They're trying to do a Joker origin movie, which I don't know why the hell they're doing that. I mean, of course I'm going to watch it. That's fine. But I would like for them to give Leto a little bit more of a chance and, you know, put him in this Batman film, you know? Maybe not as the main villain, because, you know, I think we've seen screen test of Deathstroke that's going to be in there, and he looks awesome.
Yeah.
I just think that for his version was definitely different, but I think it fit the current, you know, DC Extended Universe, you know?
Right.
And even just have, like, I just want, like, a real interaction with him and Batman. Like, we kind of got it in Suicide Squad, but it was, like, during a high-speed chase. I want to see, like, maybe, like, a fist fight, maybe just like some dialogue between Affleck's Batman, which I thoroughly enjoy, and Leto's Joker, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
No, they're good with pulling the plug on shit that actually works.
Yeah.
So.
Another one that I think that worked really good, even though it was the movie, in my opinion, was way too long. But I think Man of Steel's version of Zod was really good because
Zod was spot on.
Yeah, because like he believed like he was. I think like the best trait of a villain is the villain has to believe that what they're doing is right, even though it's wrong. You know, and that's what I got from Zod. You know, he just wanted to find a place because Krypton was destroyed. He wanted to find a place to, for his people to live, and in his skewed, twisted mind, that humans weren't worth anything. So, it's like he wanted life for the Kryptonians, but not for the humans,
Right.
So, I mean, I get it, and you could feel, like, the pain in his voice when he's talking about, his friends and family and soldiers dying and all that, and Krypton, and I think, like, even the fight, too, like, he, like, whooped Superman's ass in that movie.
Yeah, he did.
So that was definitely something. I think, like, some stuff that they got wrong in the universe was Lex Luthor.
Definitely wrong.
And even though he looked cool, there was no reason for...
I didn't even think he looked cool. He looked like a freaking joke.
Are you talking about Doomsday?
Oh, no, I'm talking about...
Oh, no, Luthor was...
Lex Luthor.
I heard that they cut him out of Justice League.
Good.
So, we'll get another, Dawn of Justice extended
thank you.
DVD.
Right, thank you, shoot.
Joss
I
Whedon?
can't remember his name. Yes, thank you, Josh. Thank you so much for fixing that shit, because that was the worst. There's so many people you could have used. Because I was reading, he went in for frickin' Jimmy. He went in to be Jimmy.
Yeah.
And you gave him the lead role.
And then they killed Jimmy.
Who the fuck was on high today?
Yeah, I know, right?
Who was high that day?
Fucking Zack Snyder, that's what it is. That's Zack Snyder.
He came in for the lowest, shortest role, and you gave him the biggest.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's messed up. I did not. That's the one thing I didn't enjoy. And like, here's the thing: Batman and Superman. Like, Batman's like obviously one of my favorites. And that people probably call me like a front runner. But that's just what it is. I love Batman.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I can admit when I saw that movie opening night and I had to work the next day. And like, trust me, we were there. It started at midnight, and that fucker didn't end till almost 2 a.m.
Yeah, we were there too. Yeah.
And like, I was there with Peacemaker and Joe, and like Peace was like almost out cold because it was just a long movie, and the look on Joe's face was like, you just told him that there wasn't a Santa Claus, like. And I'm trying to I'm like, Batman looked cool and like this and that, but like I can admit, like, yeah, like as the weeks and the months went on, I'm like, yeah, that was they really screwed up, especially with the villains there. There's no point. Why? The problem with the DC extended universe, and I don't want people to hate on this because I love these characters and I love these movies, but I think that their problem is that they see what Marvel did, and Marvel has taken 10 years to do this. They're trying to do it in a span of 3 years.
Mm-hmm. I said that from the beginning.
I
said that from the beginning. They're going to throw everybody in there and then backtrace and try and do individuals. Mm-hmm. Wonder Woman, that movie 5 years ago. That's
oh, you're kind of cutting out,
my personal opinion. I said Wonder Woman was the best movie in the last of the last 5 DC movies.
Yes. Oh, period. Yeah. I saw it twice. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah. So they I don't know.
We'll have to see. I have faith. Here's the thing: the trailers for Justice League look amazing.
They do.
What
I'm afraid of. Here's what I'm afraid of. Not to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid that Justice League is going to just be an Aquaman backstory. That's what it's going to be. Because from all of the doggone trailers that I'm seeing, all of the things that I'm reading, It's all circused around him.
He's getting his own movie, right?
Yeah, but it's like 4 years later.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Okay, maybe not that long, but yeah, it's a few years off for that. But I'm afraid that that's what this Justice League movie is going to be about. It's going to be about bringing the whole team together.
Yeah.
But that's going to be the subplot.
Well, and then
we got to get Arthur Curry on board. He's the king of Atlantis. No one else knows about Atlantis. We need to figure out Atlantis.
And I think that's why they brought Joss Whedon in, because, like, think about it, okay? We got Batman vs. Superman, okay? And Suicide Squad was just like a side movie, so it had really nothing to do with the current, like, main storyline. Like, it took place, obviously, in the same universe. Wonder Woman was a backstory movie. So this one picks off where Batman and Superman left off. So if you think about it, the end is Superman's dead, but he's really not. The city's destroyed, right?
Well. Not to cut you off again. I think this is taking place after Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is because the Wonder Woman movie, it was a backstory. But if you watch, the beginning,
the very end, the set in present. Yeah, you're right. It
was present, so it's coming right after that.
But there was no story advancement though. So like in Justice League, we have to figure out what the fuck's going on with Superman, because Superman's in the movie because he's all over the promotional material, and they got Superman, action figures, and he's in all this other stuff for Justice League. We have to figure out what's going on with these mother boxes and Steppenwolf, and I don't know why they're going with Steppenwolf. I mean, maybe I thought they would have gone with Darkseid, but I guess not.
No, they're trying to save him. He'll probably be introduced in this. You know what I'm saying? By the end of this or whatnot, since they really effed up Doomsday.
Yeah, they should have put Doomsday in this one, honestly, and just kept Superman alive.
For the whole team to go after him, sort of.
Yeah. That would have made more sense. I mean, then also you have to introduce the Flash properly. You have to introduce Cyborg. You have to introduce Aquaman, and then in the very last trailer, you see them tease somebody else. And do you remember the very first teaser posters where the tagline was "Unite the Seven"?
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
So the characters, counting Superman, there's 6. There's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg. So there is this. If it really is,
Lantern.
I still think it's the Lantern, because they even they mentioned that there's no lanterns in the trailer,
Mm-hmm.
But at the very end, where Alfred's like, he said you would come. I hope you're not too late. I don't know who that is. I think it's got to be the Lantern.
I think me and you talked about this too. I think it's Superman, but why the fuck is Superman walking so hard? And he's shaking the fucking ground. And I think you said he had to get his calibration together. He just came out of the grave, so he doesn't know how to fly again yet. So
I just want 2 things. I want black suit Spider-Man, or not Spider-Man, black suit Superman with his mullet. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're probably not going to get the mullet.
He's going to be bearded.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is they probably buried him in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
that's why he's going. That's why he goes to the Batcave. Batman has him a freaking suit ready, and it's the black suit.
Now, how badass would that be? That would be badass.
That would be pretty sick. So.
But yeah, we'll have to see it. But I'm excited. I actually I put it on our Instagram. I was taking a stroll in Toys R Us, and they had a 3-pack with Batman, Superman, and Steppenwolf. So you actually got to see a really good version of what he looks like. Obviously, he just looks like a big, giant Viking dude with a huge axe. I mean, that's fine. I just, I want to get, and I think this is something that we complained about with Batman vs. Superman, but I think I want to get, like, at least one more trailer, not giving too much away, just, like, give us an idea of what the fuck's going on in this movie, other than everybody's hanging out and they're gonna fight bad guys. That's all I see,
Well, I just hope they don't fuck it up like they did with Apocalypse. Remember, Apocalypse was sold. I was sold on Apocalypse.
Oh, yeah.
No one needed, they did not do that last fucking trailer with Wolverine's claw. They didn't need
that ruined it. That would have made me pop out of my seat.
Right. They fucked it up with that. That was the worst. You know, they should have left it at, oh my God, who is that? And then in the scene. You know what I'm saying? But
like, people would have figured... I don't even think they needed to do that. People would have still gone and seen the movie, and when they realized they were at... They saw, like, fucking Weapon X, like a door that says Weapon X open up, you're thinking, like, no, they ain't gonna do this. And then Hugh Jackman's on the screen. People would have lost their shit. That would have been great. Yeah. Kind of like, because they didn't... You know, he had that quick cameo in First Class, you know, where he just told Xavier and Magneto to go fuck themselves. Like, that was hilarious, and that was perfect, you know? That they should have left it just like that. But, you know, I digress. But, so we got about 3...
They don't do, like, no terrible silhouette where Alfred's looking and then they finally show who he's talking to and you see his fucking silhouette coming out, you know? Or you just see a green light or some crazy shit, you know? Yeah. The plot ain't making sense, and I hope Josh went in there and saw that shit with the glass. I didn't understand that, you know?
I thought the T-Rex from Jurassic Park was coming.
Exactly. That's exactly what the fuck I thought. I thought they were being fucking invaded by Zordon from the old X-Men movie. What is his name? Zordon or Zoran?
No, that's the
pterodactyl.
Oh, that's Sauron. Sauron, yeah.
Sauron, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
but,
man.
Yeah, something's not adding up with that. Hopefully, Josh is like, so why the fuck is that? But why is he walking? He's fucking Superman. I mean, if he was breaking through the ground, then that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? If he's like digging his way out, then that's something different. But
well, we got a couple months to wait, so we'll find out. But so we got about 2 minutes left on the show here. Any last thoughts you want to say before we wrap up?
No, man, I'm.
I know you're not feeling it, so you're pretty out of it today.
Yeah, I'm about to go re-up on the bath salt, and hopefully some of these Asgard chicks come rub me down with something. I don't know.
That's amazing. Okay. So, guys, let us know who your favorite movie villains are. And let us know some of the ones maybe you're not too fond of, and also the ones that you're excited to see. You know, like we were talking about, we're excited to see Hela in Thor. I mean, that's amazing. You know, I cannot wait. I'm counting down the days. Let us know on Twitter. It's going to be @Geek Podcast. You can comment right here on Spreaker as well. If you want to listen back to this episode, it's going to be here on Spreaker. It's going to be on Podbean. It's going to be on iTunes. It's going to be everywhere. We're everywhere. Okay. And again, thank you.
I'm in Asgard. I'm not everywhere right now.
But you can see. You can see everyone.
Heimdall still works right now, so he's watching you all.
Yes. Yeah, he's been working.
Idris is still watching all of you.
He's been working double shifts. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for listening and for downloading and just being part of Hardcore Geek and the Hardcore Geek Network. My friend Hammer, I will see you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, have a good night.